Once again by AEHI CEO Don Gillispie. Thanks for being with us again, Don.
Yes, my pleasure.
And once again, you heard what Kevin Miller was saying. Some pretty strong words there in regards to nuclear power. Yeah. Why don't you just give us your reaction first?
Well, I think Kevin's comments are representative of many Americans who don't understand it. In all due respect, quite frankly, nuclear power, Western nuclear power that's similar to the plants that are in Japan, have never had a death or an injury from radiation. Never. Now, we've had the graphite reactor in Russia without the containment. It caught on fire where there were deaths, of course. But on the Western power, throughout the Western world, there's never been a death. There's no other power source that's going to make that claim. If you look at Hurricane Andrew about 10, 15 years ago in Florida, leveled South Florida, what was the only thing standing down there? The nuclear power plant.
And these things are very much
very rugged,
built to last. But the plants in China were aging. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, Japan, yes.
Or Japan, yes.
Yeah, there is 40 years old and does not have some of the more sophisticated safety systems of the plants that we're proposing. But let's talk about the U.S. plants for a minute. It's 104 U.S. plants. Only 14 of these are on the coast, first of all. So you're not going to get a tsunami here in Idaho or Colorado or the places I'm proposing plants, so it's not a concern. You know the biggest threat in the sense of a large earthquake in Idaho? What happens? The dam, or Lucky Peak, breaks and floods Boise. It's not going to flood my nuke plant up at 300 feet above Payette River, but it's going to be very, very hard on the city of Boise. That's the dam. Are we going to stop using the dam for power? Are we going to stop using the dam for water? No, of course not. We have to look at risk. Life has risk. Everything we do, getting in our car is our biggest risk we take. So from the standpoint of these plants on the coast, we have something called the blackout rule in this country. It requires that when all off-site power is lost to a nuclear power plant, it must sustain and maintain its own power source. In other words, keep operating to cool itself so it does not get into the situation.
The general blackout would not affect the plant.
Yes,
right.
And the Japanese do not have that same rule implemented. Now, if we move to the advanced plants, the new ones we're talking about, they're completely different. They have even more redundant safety systems in both active and passive. Passive meaning requires nothing to work. Essentially, a pool of water sitting above the reactor, the gravity drains into the reactor to cool it, so you do not have to pump water in, so you don't even need electricity. The advanced reactors are so much safer. We're talking about, Model Ts in brand new cars. We're comparing the safety features of these two. Are you going to stop driving your Model T if it's still working and running? Probably not. But you're going to
Is it harder to fix when it breaks down?
It's going to be harder to fix, and you got to be smart how you drive it.
Yeah.
And where you drive it. Same with these reactors. I think the U.S. reactor industry has had a phenomenal safety record. As I said, even wind and solar have had more deaths than nuclear power. So that said, you still have to be safe. Safety is paramount, and the advanced reactors, which we're proposing here, I do not believe can be affected by this kind of event.
There is one more question that I want to get to, though. With all of this going on, we may have a great safety record here in the U.S., but after Chernobyl and 3 Mile Island, nuclear power in the U.S. was all but frozen. So with this going on in Japan, all of the fears, people not knowing, what could this mean for building a plant here in Idaho and anywhere else in the U.S.?
I think if you look at the leadership in this country, with some exceptions, the president, the key senators and congressmen, they've spoken out in support, saying that we can learn from the Japanese event. What can we learn? But that we should not stop going forward. Of course, we've heard Switzerland say they're going to stop going forward. We've heard Germany say they're not sure. They think they might stop going forward. I think these are knee-jerk reactions and not the way you should. I mean, if I ran my business based on an event halfway around the world and I knee-jerked to it, I don't think it'll run a very good business. I think we have to look at the facts, make a decision going forward. I think we probably can make these plants more reliable and safer, quite frankly, and we should with every type of event like this. But we should not completely change what we plan to do in light of what we know so far.
All right.
Well,
Don
thank you
Gillispie,
so much.
CEO of Alternate Energy Holdings Incorporated. AEHI, of course, thanks for being with us this morning.
Absolutely wonderful. Your expertise, very, very enlightening.
Thank you, ladies.
All right. Thank you.